by about 0.2%. Outside of earnings season, there were a few other themes on the market, and one big one we were watching was the rotation in media stocks. It seems as though Seven has been having some pretty good ratings with My Kitchen Rules. So we saw a rotation out of 10 and into 7 West Media. So the trade seemed to be sell 10 by 7 West Media. We saw 10 shares actually down a massive 15% for the week, while 7 West Media managed to gain around about 8%. So a big week for the Australian market. It speeds up next week with half-year earnings season, so no doubt it's going to be a very busy one.
It will indeed. So maybe talk us through some of those stocks that you will be watching next week in terms of earnings, Julia. I mean, today we've got Newcrest Mining, really the big one, but we've got JB Hi-Fi, a few of those retailers next week. What else is on your radar?
Well, this week banks were very much in focus with NAB and Macquarie Group coming up with updates, and that's going to continue next week. The big one to watch will be on Wednesday, where we will see Commonwealth Bank coming out with results. We are expecting to see a profit number there of about $3.6 billion. And then on Friday we'll get an update from ANZ, and of course that interest rate decision that it does independently of the Reserve Bank. So the banks will still be very much in focus. As you mentioned, Liz, the retailers, we're going to be watching them closely. We do see JB Hi-Fi coming out with its half-year results, and then on Wednesday Billabong will be in focus, and David Jones also comes out with his second quarter sales numbers. But the big profit number to be watching next week will be on Thursday, and that's when Rio Tinto comes out with its full year result. We are expecting to see a profit of $9.2 billion there. But just to give you an idea of how busy it's going to be next week, just on one day, let's say Wednesday, we're going to see results out from the likes of Ansell, Boral, Computershare. We'll see car sales, CSL coming out with results, as well as Oz Minerals, and full year results by Leighton as well. So it's going to be an extremely busy week for the Australian market, and the earnings season is important because it tends to signify the continuation of existing trends or the start of new ones. And certainly with Cochlear we've seen that, where that big uptrend that we've seen that has been in place for the best part of the year has really reversed, and we're now in a downtrend.
All right, Julia, and just before you go, can you give us an idea of what to expect on the local market today in terms of what stocks you'll be watching and what really will be in focus after we saw that weak lead from Wall Street?
Well, overnight markets did take a bit of a stumble. It started with the European Central Bank and Mario Draghi highlighting the downside risks in the Eurozone and taking the unusual step of talking about the appreciating euro and the impact that would have in terms of growth in the Eurozone in the medium term. So that really put some downward pressure on stocks. In the US, we saw the growth-related sectors like the energy and the materials space dragging the market lower. Commodity prices were lower, so that doesn't really bode too well for our materials space today. We saw oil prices in New York trading at a 2-year low. Gold prices, copper prices were also trading lower overnight. Now, earnings season, a little bit slow today. The big one to be watching is Newcrest Mining. It will come out with its result. We're expecting to see a profit result there of $350.5 million. So we'll be watching that one. Also, Jindalby has a shareholder meeting, so we'll be watching that. And Aquarius Platinum also comes out with some numbers today. There are some economic releases to be aware of. China will see CPI, PPI, as well as import-export data for January, so that will be an important one for our market. And the RBA comes out with its quarterly monetary statement, and no doubt there'll be a lot of currency traders watching this one to get some clues on where interest rates may be headed in March.
Julia Lee from Bell Direct, always a pleasure.